I'm here with California Congressman Scott Peters. He represents the San Diego area. What have you been up to?
I've been trying to stay up late. I mean, I tell you, the schedule here is kind of nuts. Nothing really starts till noon, but this is the convention that I wanted. I was one of the folks who recognized that as much as I love Joe Biden as a president, as a candidate, people weren't buying it. And I was going to vote for him enthusiastically, but it looked like we were headed for a not successful election. I feel really differently now because I think you can see there's enthusiasm here. And so much of this is going to be about turning people out. You can see that people are excited about voting for Harris Walz. And I think that's going to help us in races in the House and the Senate, as well as winning the presidency.
You know, we at WCPT, we're a very democratic, very liberal station. And as my listeners like to call in and say, they were riding with Biden.
Yeah.
And that was great. Like you, I thought he would win. We were there for him. But when the change happened, first, I was thrilled to see the Democratic Party coalesce so quickly and so solidly behind Kamala. But then the energy that exploded was nothing I saw coming.
Well, it's optimistic. It's fun. I think that the Trump versus Biden thing was very scoldy. They were very angry. That was kind of like the other guy's so terrible. Trump's still doing that, but we have a campaign that's exuding hope and opportunity and tomorrow, and it's fun and it's got laughter in it, and I think you want to be associated with that. So no wonder people are excited. It just doesn't seem like. I think people are angry at the parties for not offering them a different choice, and as Democrats, we're going to offer a much better choice than Donald Trump, and I think people will come our way.
Right before you came over, I was reading a poll that shows that of all the candidates on both tickets, the number one most popular is Tim Walz.
Well, so we're so happy in Congress that the House guy like Tim got picked.
Did you work with him in Congress?
So Tim was the lead Democrat on the Veterans Committee the term I was on the Veterans Committee. I'm from San Diego. We have a huge veterans community. And the thing I loved about Tim is that he was a natural leader. He sat down with all the members of the committee, talked about what our goals were, we were in the minority too, so we fashioned a strategy and a vision, and he included everybody. And I think it comes from maybe being a football coach where all 11 players have to work together. But I don't think you'll find anyone who doesn't love Tim Walz. He's a wonderful guy. He is what you see, and I think he's also probably. People are going to learn that he's not just a wonderful guy, a great candidate, but he's a good leader, and I think that's what we want in the presidency and vice presidency.
Yeah, I think that as we are wont to say, he brings that Midwestern charm and those Midwestern values to the ticket.
But Joan, that's no joke, because the states we need to win, and where Democrats aren't as strong, we're not, we're California and New York, great, Illinois, great, but. We're competing in states where we're not as strong, and I think that Tim is going to relate to folks in Pennsylvania and Wisconsin and Michigan, which are the key states. And the race is not that complicated. You have to win 8 or 10 states. Texas this year and California this year aren't in play, so we can concentrate where we need to win. And I think Tim's a person that allows a lot of people to identify with Democrats that maybe we haven't been thinking about in California and New York.
Saturday, I heard Jamie Harrison speak, head of the Democratic National Committee, and he said that we should not count Florida out. He felt that there were some really good people on the ballot and that the Florida Democratic Party was doing some great work, and that kind of surprised me.
I think that's encouraging. Here's what I would say. I think in 2016, the Clinton campaign got away from the states we needed to win. And there was a lot of concern that maybe she should have been in Michigan, winning Michigan, rather than to try to expand the map. So I think Jamie's job is to make this a national party. I congratulate him. If we could do well in Florida, that's great. But let's win the states we know we have to win, and let's focus our energy here. That's my view anyway. That's why I also say to Californians, look, don't tell people in Michigan who they should vote for. Listen to people in Michigan about who they need to vote for. That's how we're going to win. We should be optimizing around winning elections. And this election is about electoral votes in the Electoral College. We know where we need to be.
Mallory McMorrow, the state senator from Michigan, was on the White Women for Kamala call, and she said, some of you may not want to hear this, she said, but this election is going to take more than just writing a postcard. She said, nobody in Michigan cares if they get a postcard from somebody in California. She said, you've got to actually get out there, you've got to knock on doors, you've got to talk to people. Would you agree with that?
100%. These campaigns are neighbor to neighbor, and you're going to be much more concerned about what your friends and neighbors are thinking and doing, you're going to have a similar experience with them. It's going to inform their voting, it's going to inform your voting, than you will with someone who's across the country. So I don't discourage people from writing postcards, because I think that raises people's attention. But to close the deal, you got to go talk to your neighbor, and I hope that people will do that in those really crucial states.
In his speech Monday night, Joe Biden said that he was going to be the #1 volunteer for Harris Walls, that he was going to work harder than anybody. How difficult that must be. I mean, there still has to be a part of his heart that's still hurting. I'm just amazed by this guy.
I'm amazed too. It was his decision, as much as we encouraged him. It had to take a lot of patriotism, frankly, and a lot of self-sacrifice for him to say, I'm going to walk away from the presidency, something he'd been interested in doing his whole life, and something he has been doing very well, and I'm sure he had plans for continuing to do it. So, we thank Joe Biden for what he's done. He really brought back a sense of normalcy and accomplishment to the government after Donald Trump, and I think that the other thing that's happened that will help in this election is that his reputation has gone up tremendously. So all this stuff we heard about Hunter Biden and all the criticism of Joe Biden, and no, it's turned into a thank you tour. Mm-hmm. And I think that's going to help him help other candidates as well. So as much as he wants to be involved, I think we'd all welcome him in every part of the country, because he's going to be a huge asset.
Last night, of course, we heard from Michelle Obama and Barack Obama. And I agree with Barack. It was very brave of him to take the stage after Michelle, because she gave one heck of a speech.
Yeah. I mean, the speeches are fun entertainment. So we're lucky to have presidents like Biden, Obama, and Clinton, frankly, who were presidents who accomplished things, not presidents. The thing what astonishes me about people who like Trump is that they let him get away with doing nothing. Infrastructure week, nothing happened.
Nobody ever seemed to call him on it. My health plan is coming in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks.
Yeah.
In 2 weeks.
Also, I don't even know that Mexico built us a wall. That's all done.
They paid for it, I hear.
And they paid for it. And these otherwise intelligent people fall for this stuff. It amazes me. So I think the other thing I'm excited about with Kamala Harris is that she has run a campaign that has made no mistakes, and it's been very, it has been very sharp-elbowed. So that going after him,
sassy. That's the word I like. It's sassy.
Yeah, that's an attitude. But I'm a strategy guy, and going after him on the border. He said he wanted to clean up the border. We had a bipartisan bill to do that. It's Trump who torpedoed it. Whether you like it or not, I think a lot of Democrats were going to have a hard time supporting some parts of that, but I think we were ready to do it because we knew that's what President Biden needed us to do. But it was Trump who sabotaged it, and now he's out there talking about how he's going to fix it. And I think we just got to hold him accountable for that hypocrisy. This emperor has no clothes, and we should make sure people know it.
Last question. You represent San Diego, which is a huge military town. I thought it was really interesting. Vote Vets is a Democratic organization, but with this most recent statement from Trump that somehow the Medal of Honor was so much better, or the Medal of Freedom was better than the Medal of Honor given to our military folks. The VFW, which is not a liberal organization, the Veterans of Foreign Wars, they came out and they were so angry and insulted by that. You come from an area that's filled with military folks. How do you think that they feel about this election?
I think in a moment of honesty, people in the military would look down on a president who doesn't value sacrifice, makes fun of veterans, like what are they doing, what's in it for them, and disregards what people have done to put themselves in harm's way to defend us and defend our freedoms. Meanwhile, remember, this is the president who, this is the man who you had the bone spurs that kept him from serving. And now they're criticizing Tim Walz, who was in the National Guard for 24 years, Minnesota National Guard for 24 years, retired to run for office, and then they're saying he retired because he didn't want to serve. I mean, this is the kind of thing you get from them, from President Bone Spurs, right? It just, the level of the lack of shame is just amazing, and the fact that the presidency would be so degraded to this level is awful. So, look, what I like about this convention is that we're going to put up a candidate that's got a good chance, not a sure bet. We have a lot of work to do, but we have a good chance to keep Donald Trump from coming back to the White House and really offer a vision for opportunity for Americans, whatever zip code you're from, which is, I think, what Democrats stand for.
Yeah, the future. California Congressman Scott Peters, thank you for spending part of your afternoon with us here.
Thank you so much.